Hi, I'm Ben Felder with the Oklahoman, and joining me here in the Oklahoman's video studios is Sarah Stitt, soon to be Oklahoma's First Lady, wife of Governor-elect Kevin Stitt. And Ms. Stitt, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, your husband officially takes office in less than 2 weeks, but already a very busy time, not just for him, but for you as well. You are leading up the kind of inaugural festivities, which is quite a full schedule of activity about to get underway here next week.
That's right. It's going to be very busy. We have a lot of inaugural different activities and events. Starting on the 10th in Lawton, we have a Bison Bash, which will be a really fun party, very relaxed. We're super excited to be in that part of the state. And then we continue on into Tulsa on the 12th. We have a wonderful children's festival planned that's open for everyone. So we're so excited, and we hope to draw a lot of young Oklahomans to that. Then we have the evening ball in Tulsa, the Redbud Ball, that evening. And then on the 14th, we have the ceremony, of course, which is what all of this is about. And then the evening, we have the inaugural ball that evening. And then the next day, we have a prayer service.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the event in Lawton, and you know, I've talked to members of the campaign who say, you know, it is kind of an ode to rural Oklahoma, which was so important in your husband's election. The event's going on in Tulsa, the family event, and the proceeds are going to several charities, particularly those that work with foster family and children. Why was that an important aspect for you?
Well, I looked at when the inauguration was kind of presented to me. This is what's been done in the past. And I, being the mother of 6 children, have a 4-year-old still at home, and I really wanted to make sure that we still included the younger age group. And what I have found is generally if the incoming governor has young children, they try to do something involving children. But I wanted to make sure that we involved the younger aspect of children and made sure that no one felt like it was closed off. And then also, just being from Tulsa, I wanted to give the opportunity for our community to become involved in it, and not to be an exclusive event. And as we thought through that process, so many of my friends are foster parents and have adopted out of the foster system. I started to think, what a great opportunity to kind of shine a light on a social issue that I care about. Yeah. And so we decided to use this as a time to give free tickets to foster families. So many of these foster parents, they are opening their home and trying to give these children a stable life and a great home life, but maybe you don't have the extra means to do a lot of fun things. So I'm so excited that we're offering this. It's going to be a great event. It's going to be a ton of Oklahoma-based activities and entertainment and food. And so we're offering free tickets to foster families, as well as any proceeds from this event will go to several charities that benefit foster families. Yeah,
you have spoken in the past about this opportunity to put a spotlight on certain issues as First Lady, and you're already doing that, you know, with these inaugural events. Have you thought more about kind of what your agenda, so to speak, will look like as First Lady, and how is that coming together for you? I know you're still focused a lot on the inaugural stuff, but I mean, what kind of planning are you already doing, and where do you see some of the main issues coming from or being for you?
Well, I mean, right now I have so many things with the inauguration and stuff, but I did say early on that things that I wanted to focus on are education, just being the mother of 6 and thinking about how that impacts someone's life. I think education is huge, but also mental health is something that I hold very dear to my heart, and I hope to use my position to really impact in a positive way in Oklahoma.
What has your voice been like for the governor-elect? I mean, you know, obviously your husband, you guys are close, talk a lot, and have for quite some time. But you know, as he's getting ready to take on this new position, you know, what kind of message are you sending him, or is he receiving for you? What has been your advice for the governor-elect as he's been going through this transition period?
Well, I think, as always, I'm a sounding board for him, and I know him better than everyone else. So a lot of times he just wants my take on things, and then I always want him to stay true to what he knows. And his instincts are so good. I think it's a God-given talent, the way he can see through issues and get to the root of a problem. So I just encourage him to stay true to his instincts, but also to surround yourself with the right people. And I think that's something he's picked up along the way. But again, I keep reiterating that because this is a whole nother level in government, and being very selective and intuitive on who you pick to be around you, who's advising you.
Yeah. How much of an input have you had on the selection of his secretary appointments and staff hires that he's already made?
Well, I like to think more probably than I have, but I always like like to, and he likes me to meet the people that he's hiring and just kind of get my take on it, because I know who works well with him, and you don't know much from someone in an hour and a half meeting, but I do think that we discuss a lot of those things, and I'm a sounding board more than anything, but also if I see anything, I do feel comfortable saying it. Who knows if he'll take the advice, but I do think that he likes to hear my opinion on certain things like that.
Yeah, we're all different in public than we are
right.
behind the scenes, and your husband has, spent the last year on the campaign trail. But for those who are now joining his team, some of the staff hires, if they were to come to you and they said, "What am I getting into? What advice would you give me on working directly with the governor-elect?" What's your advice on the best way to say handle is not the right word, but
right. Well, yes, navigate, really, to navigate
yeah.
his personality. I would say his pet peeve is incorrect information. And so make sure that the information you're giving, if you don't know, he is totally fine with saying, "I don't know the answer to that," because he wants to help you find the answer to that. But when you give him incorrect information, he will base a decision on information that you are giving him. So I would say vet your information well. Yeah. I have learned to do that over the years, because that is definitely something. He bases his decision on what you're saying.
Yeah, and finally, what's this transition been like for your family? I mean, you're now trying to run a state, but you're still running a household with 6 kids. What's this transition process been like for your home?
It's been so exciting. It's been fun. Of course, I believe it's been easier than the campaign trail. The kids, they enjoyed the campaign trail. They were on it quite a bit with us. I was gone a lot, so I'm able to be home a little more. And they're back in school now after the holidays and everything like that. But it's been fun. They're all excited. There's always a little bit of apprehension with change, but we won't be moving here until the spring. Our oldest is going to finish her senior year. So then we'll move at the end of spring or early summer. So they're all excited. It's been good. It's been hectic and busy, but it's just part of it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's moving is such a big ordeal for anybody, let alone just becoming governor. But now there's going to be a move in the mix as well here in a few months for you guys.
Which some of my children are excited about because they don't remember moving, and my other children are like, oh, they know what it involves.
Yeah. Well, Sarah Stitt, wife of Governor-elect Kevin Stitt, who will be officially become Oklahoma's 28th governor on January 14th. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.